And I'm your host, Damien Perdue, your good news guide on this audio ride of radio delights. And I might be joined by Paulie C.
Maybe. Am I going to have to hold the mic
Yeah.
the whole time?
It's like we're performing on stage, man. You got to
Right,
hold
yeah.
the mic. Don't cup the mic. Hold the mic.
Don't cup the mic. This is
We're
Lego
doing a
land over
live-
here.
Yeah, there we go. There you
All
go.
right.
You got it. All right. Now just don't touch it.
Well, if it breaks in the middle of it, you'll know why.
Technical difficulties. Smoothed out, though.
Yeah. I mean, for those
We're
that
not
are
gonna
listening,
let-
I mean, it's you don't need to highlight it, but it was just funny because it was like, I'm adjusting the mic 2 seconds before
Yeah.
we, go live with the mics, and the thing just broke apart into 3 pieces.
Well, I'm sure, if people are watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, don't forget we're on YouTube,
can
Think Theory
see it.
Radio channel. You would see it like just as we're about to start the mic. But that's the only bad news today because
Hopefully,
today
nothing can possibly go wrong. Possibly go wrong.
I'm saying because we're going to do what's good in the world, man.
Yeah, what is good? in
We're
the world?
offering hope for humanity.
Yeah, is there any hope?
There is hope. And see, that's the, and I had already planned to do this show before all the craziness
Yeah.
of today. And, well, it's pretty much every day as it happens.
Are you saying
nowadays,
that
but-
before today the world was crazy that you needed some good news? Is that,
Yeah. I mean, this is not only just for the listener's sanity, but my own sanity. I have looked for lists of positive news and positive innovations and, good people doing things in the world, statistics that show that the world isn't such a dark place.
Right? Yeah, we are still kind of moving forward as
Yeah.
a society, as humanity, as
And
the
honestly,
human race.
and part of the problem too is, like with legacy media, mainstream media, they have a tendency to focus on the negative side of things because that's what brings ratings. I mean, that's where we're psychologically hardwired to be attracted to threats.
Oh yeah,
So they know that.
if it bleeds, it leads.
Exactly. So, and not that you should shy away from what's happening or not be informed, and you should keep resisting, keep fighting, but you have to balance it out. Otherwise, your brain will just collapse in on itself, and you will be stressed out, and probably, maybe very bad health things could happen to you. So you have to look for the good, balance it out with all the negative stuff that you hear about every day, because it's easy to just get trapped down those rabbit holes and doom scrolling and next thing you know, it's 3 hours and you're just all you've been reading is just constant insanity.
Or people's garbage opinions on social media.
And that's the worst too. I mean, especially nowadays where, not just to throw, mainstream media on the bus, but social media. And people,
it's terrible.
it's terrible, and people get like a lot of people are getting more and more of their news from these, influencers and different type of people online. People don't fact check, even though it's easier to do nowadays than ever before. And so.
But I think sometimes people just don't understand certain layers of things too.
Yes.
They just see the headline or they see the whatever the instant bullet point would be and be like, well, I'm going to form my opinion off of that. And there's so many, layers of information that need to be kind of sorted through and analyzed sometimes.
Yeah, totally. And I think there's a lot of, kind of instigator style, people out there reporting things, or they just want to kind of get under people's skin or kind of ask these certain questions that make you kind of, sick to your stomach, I guess, in a lot of ways. But
Yeah.
but there's a lot of, just on some basic stuff, you think of one, crime and murder is the lowest it's been in the United States, which for a country that's the leader in those categories for
We're
any
number
first,
one. We're number one.
for any first world country, we're the leader in those. But they have gone down, and they've gone down significantly, especially since they were going down before the pandemic, rose back up to higher levels right after in 2021 around that time. But since then have decreased rapidly.
2023 or so, I want to say it started trending down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poverty is the worldwide poverty is at its lowest level it's ever been. Literacy is at higher rate that it's ever been. Cancer is actually the low going down. I think it's 34% lower than it was in the 90s.
Wow.
And cancer rate survival is up, right? There's more medicine, newer therapies and medicine coming out for, cancer cures, hopefully leading down that road.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot going on. I've compiled a bunch of different things I thought were kind of cool, and also, I think we'll start off with some of the energy, man.
Energy. Need more energy. Well, like coal energy?
Yeah. So, speaking of coal, China is actually
pumping lots of coal into the air, and that's good news.
They are, yes, still the world's leading producer of carbon emissions, but their emissions have dropped a lot. The same thing with India. These are like the two leading countries in carbon emissions. Both of them have dropped. Both of them are creating more and more wind, solar, nuclear capacity. They've cut coal power output, and a study found that China's carbon dioxide emissions dropped for the first time under growth conditions. And they also pledged to increase its wind and solar capacity another 6 times by 2035. And there's also solar power. 2025 was the year that renewable energy produced more electricity than the world's dirtiest energy, coal, for the first time in history.
Wow.
Yeah. And coal it's just...
All right, yeah, anti-green people. Did you even notice?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But they don't talk about it. If it's not talked about, how can people find out? Unless you purposefully dig for this, you're not going to know. And the part of the thing is that coal it just doesn't make economic sense. So a lot of these big companies...
That's always what, even aside from the pollution, though, that was always kind of the argument as well. But West Virginia must be lobbying Donald Trump to, because he really wants to bring back all these coal jobs.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, I think it's just pandering to certain, sectors of the populace. And, there's no real, benefit to it. But now there's, you can now get like 2 gigawatts of solar power. There's also solar power change in India. That was one of the last, few, like we talked about, coal powerhouses. That subcontinent saw coal drop below 50% of all its energy capacity in 2025. It added more than 30 gigawatts of solar and wind energy, which is enough to power nearly 18 million homes. And their renewable capacity is expected to increase by 50 gigawatts this year and beyond. And not only that, but its countries are creating so much green energy that they're starting to give it away for free.
Wow.
Yeah. Australia notched up an impressive global first power for solar power in 2025. It was a green energy dividend. The country has so much capacity, it will start offering 3 free hours of electricity per day to households, regardless of whether they have solar panels or not. So it's becoming that with, all these different renewable energy sources, too cheap to meter. I don't know when that'll happen here, but...
Well, I was going to say, because I was thinking that's all fine and dandy, but what about the poor energy concerns? What about the, the big oil of Australia and the big coal of... Are they making their profits?
That I'm not sure.
See, that's why
I think a lot
that's
of
all fine and dandy for Australia, but in the United States, you really need to think about these poor energy CEOs because if they,
what are they going to do?
Are they giving away free? How are they going to eat?
Well, how are they going to maintain those 20 mansions they have? And
how are they going to keep the stock prices high?
Yes.
So
how are they going to pay their staffing in their large kitchens?
Yeah, on paper this looks great, but you got to stop and think about that because that's number one here. Okay.
Well, what I think
high priority stuff.
I think what's happening is a lot of those they're investing in these other sources of energy, so they'll still be making money.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Geothermal power.
That's a relief to hear that they're going to profit off of the thing that they were trying to push against for so long,
We have to save
They
the
finally came to their senses.
Well, they just wanted
so dirty.
I know. Like dirty energy?
Dirty energy, yeah.
Well, they had to reap all the benefits of, all the coal and gas and oil, before they could switch over.
Bleed the planet dry
Yes,
of all of
exactly,
those crude oil and all
Now
that.
they can be the saviors.
The fossil fuels. Yeah, now they can be the big saviors. Yep, yep.
In 10, 20 years. We're like, see, it was all it was all us. We did it for you
and
guys.
like poison our water, take control of it, then slowly give it back to us and be like, see, we are the providers.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, another one that doesn't get talked about in terms of energy is geothermal power.
Okay.
Right.
Was that utilizing like volcanic activity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Iceland is the largest geothermal user
because they have a lot of like springs and volcanic
springs and everything. Yeah. Now the UK is their first geothermal power plant is beginning to open, and they're going to use this underground heat to power 10,000 homes. And this is a United Downs plant in Cornwall. It's been developed for nearly 2 decades. And these are, like we're talking about, the energy stored in the form of heat beneath the surface of the earth. And the company behind this project is GEL, Geothermal Energy Engineering Limited. Now, that's UK. So people are like, oh, well, what about here? Well, there's actually in Utah, there's a huge project going on with a company named, it's a startup called Fervo Energy. They just raised another $462 million to build America's next generation of geothermal power plants in Utah. This is a Houston-based company, and they say it's raised about $1.5 billion overall since 2017 to develop what could become the world's largest enhanced geothermal system. And they're setting the pace for the next era of clean, affordable, and reliable power in the U.S., and they've said they have raised so much money, they went over what they needed. And so this could...
We have too much money.
We have too much money. It's like those the GoFundMe when it goes good.
Sure, there's like investors that are like, great, so how about...
right, yeah, kick that back.
Yeah, a little return on my investment.
Yeah. And actually, I didn't realize that there is a decent amount of geothermal power plants in the U.S. Most of them are on the West Coast because that's where... you have the more, underground heat reservoirs.
Ring of fire, baby.
I believe Hawaii, California is the largest producer of
I was going to say if it's not Hawaii, but I'd imagine that there's a lot of volcano, but not a lot of land in Hawaii to build these.
Yeah, exactly. And then another interesting kind of in the energy sector is you have the energy storage industry.
Okay.
Is actually doing really well. And even though, the tax credits were phased out in the big, beautiful bill or whatever, but batteries are needed alongside the system, right? So for, grid storage, so this is actually increased, even though they try to, remove the tax credits for these kind of renewable energy systems. The energy storage companies have set an eye-popping target back in 2017, which was to make 35 gigawatts of batteries hooked up to the U.S. power grid by 2025. And in the end, they didn't so much as reach the target, but they went through it. So they actually created 40 gigawatts and rising in just the third quarter of 2025. So it's probably even higher by now. So it's an interesting situation there, Let's see. We've got the world agreed to protect 30% of international waters.
Okay.
The High Seas Treaty, which the United Nations drew up in 2023, which is kind of like the Paris Agreement for oceans.
I can't imagine that the United States under the current administration is participating in this, though. I mean, considering what they think about international waters.
Oh, yeah. And I kind of feel like it's one of those things that might have slipped under the radar. Because it's not very well known, like the Paris Agreement has enough like cash where you can, use it as something like we're getting out of that, where no one really knows the High Seas Treaty. So maybe we're still in it.
Okay. The High Seas Treaty sounds like it's like old school, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's only from 2023, but it does sound like
or something like it's the High Seas Treaty.
Yeah. Well, remember we did the maritime conspiracy show?
Oh, yeah.
The maritime law.
A long time ago.
That's what it kind of reminds me of, like the High Seas Treaty.
Yeah.
What's happening?
You're going to have to dig in the archives for that one, folks, but we did it. It happened.
And there's 60 countries they needed 60 countries to ratify it, and they actually did that last September. And so it's an interesting, at least there, countries out there working on things. There's actually dozens of endangered species have come back from the brink of extinction. And one of them, the green sea turtle, which is now off of the endangered species list, because it had a huge population rebound. Other ones are the peregrine falcon, which we have. I'd like to say that, Chicago gets credit for that because we have them flying around eating pigeons.
Yeah.
So they,
keeping them well fed.
the American alligator, it's back.
Okay. The American alligator. Okay.
The American alligator.
Okay.
Not those other alligators. Several species of rhino.
That's important. Rhino,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, always seems like it's on the endangered species list.
Yeah, and jaguars have made a comeback.
All right.
And not just in football.
That's, well.
Hey. I know.
They did have a decent season.
Yeah, so there's actually, in Mexico, the jaguar population has increased. But not only that, there was a jaguar spotted in southern Arizona for the first time. I think the fifth time in 15 years.
You're saying Trevor Lawrence is getting... Sorry.
But that shows that that population is regaining momentum. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't really know what for, but they're cool looking animals.
I guess, is there a reason why? Just because of, the better energy or better things we're doing to the environment?
Yeah, I think
better
there's
humane,
better...
less DDT in the air? I don't...
and also, the conservation laws, protection, protecting from poachers and stuff like that, and creating more of the kind of those... what do you call those? Like the ecological strips... where you because we've been doing that in Chicago, with the Western forest preserves, recreating the original kind of plant life and, flora and all that stuff to recreate kind of these districts where now, these certain animals can follow that track line,
Okay.
Should we take a quick call before we go to break?
Yeah, we could do that.
We got a caller from the 415 area code. Who am I speaking to?
Well, here's David out in San Francisco.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
And, I heard you starting off the show. You were looking for some good news.
Yeah.
Well, we, for over 30 years, we've been trying to get municipalization of electricity here in San Francisco. Back 30 years ago, Ralph Nader was running for president in '96, and that was one of the platforms that we were running him on. And just the other day, 3 days ago, the city of San Francisco declared that it wants independence from Pacific Gas and Electric. And something that we've been working on for 30 years finally is coming to pass.
Nice. That's amazing.
I said that sounds like really big news.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, and it's one of the if you I heard you talking about China and the pollution issues out there. Your average nuclear power plant produces 1 gigawatt of electricity per year, and probably 20 years ago, China was printing so many solar panels that they printed 51 gigs in 1 year.
Oh, wow.
And then, so instead of waiting for a 20-year permit to build a nuclear power plant, they printed, if you think about solar panels, they're kind of like electronic little grids, and you can print. And they printed 51 nuclear power plants worth of solar panels in 1 year. And then the following year, they were declaring they were going to, I believe they wanted to go up 20% the succeeding year. And that was, I'm trying to remember if that was about when Trump came in. But he basically, his tariffs have so ruined the ability. At least Biden was making it easier for people to put solar panels on their roof.
Yeah.
And, out here in San Francisco, I would expect that a part of municipalization is going to be that every government building is going to have solar panels. Every park is probably, and even parking lots, will have those towers of solar panels on them, and you get shade plus there's you cover from the rain, I guess you could say, but it'll also if you're familiar with one of the scams of 9/11, they were having an emergency every day. And so one of the scams was that terrorists were going to attack a nuclear power plant, or the terrorists were going to attack a coal-fired plant, or whatever. So all of the big power companies were getting a rebate or a cash inflow from brand new Homeland Security. And, by putting all of their eggs in one basket, that you had one centralized power source, that it would be a target. Well, when you put solar panels all over town, there is no major target.
Right.
You diversify, and one thing that lowers the cost as well, if you try to push electricity 50 miles, you're going to lose half the electricity just by the resistance in the wires. The wires heat up and you lose power. And so by not having a centralized source, but you have all of these sources all over town, then all of a sudden the electricity might only have to go 50 feet to get to your house. It might only have to go a quarter mile.
Right.
But, the idea of losing this vast amount of electricity through what's called line resistance, you save. It's just a phenomenal game. So, and then one other thing too, nuclear power. I think it uses like 80% of water. There's this vast amount of water that's used in nuclear, and then with nuclear, you have to cool it down forever,
right.
like a quarter million years. And with solar, with wind power, it's negligible amounts of electricity.
Much cleaner. Yeah.
We're not trapped. We save money. We diversify the thing. Homeland Security is not going to have to pay out all of those targets anymore if you create municipalized blankets of solar.
Yeah.
And then, of course, somebody can be making money off of their roof with solar panels.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the call, Dave. And I know here in Illinois, there's a lot of big incentives, too, if you get solar panels put on your homes, and you get like all kind of tax rebates. And and an interesting tie-in, because I had this story up, and, Dave calling from San Francisco and talking about solar power. There's a college student named Zach Clark who developed a solar-powered backpack that provides unhoused people with shelter, power, and basic supplies, which I thought was pretty amazing. He moved into that city's Tenderloin neighborhood while he was at the University of San Francisco and began interacting with the unhoused residents living near his building. And they kept sharing that keeping their phones charged was a huge challenge, adding the often lost items to the theft or the elements. So he started the Home More project and built the makeshift traveler backpack in response. It has a solar panel, sits on top of the pack, feeding energy into a rechargeable battery. The shell comes with repurposed water bottles. One full charge powers a smartphone several times over. And inside, Clark packed items like a pillow, a raincoat, a flashlight, hygiene products. There's a sleeping bag and a tent can be attached to the pack's exterior. This pack also includes a secure box for storing important items and a guide listing nearby organizations that provide services to people without homes. Clark describes kit as a complete survival kit in one durable package. His organization, they began distributing these packs in 2022. Since then, they've given them out to over 1,200 people across 24 California communities, and the group now plans to send out another 2,000 more through collaborations with supporters in new regions. So I thought that was a pretty cool story.
Yeah. That way, the only footprint that you're leaving behind is because you don't have shoes and walk through the mud.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry,
That's it. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to some more of your calls and some more good news here on Think Theory Radio.
This is a WCPT Veteran Minute. In the mid-1800s, many American women were expected to follow what history calls the cult of true womanhood, where men would go off to work and women would stay home, taking care of the house, their children, and husbands. During the Civil War, many women left their homes to join the fight. Thousands of women from the North and South volunteered to join brigades, while over 400 women disguised themselves as men to fight in the war. In the Union, 20,000 white and African American women worked as nurses, traveling from hospital to hospital, offering care to wounded soldiers, even helping to convince the government to create United States Sanitary Commission to create a preventive, hygienic, and sanitary service for the benefit of the Army. During the Civil War, women were faced with new duties, challenging many men's minds to what should be a proper woman's place.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Welcome back to TTR Good News Radio here on WCPT 820, where all things are positive all the time.
Good vibes all the time.
Good vibes, good energy, man. Let's take another phone call. We got Paul in Seattle. What's going on, Paul?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Yeah, so remember the kind of the general premise of the original Star Trek series was that, you know, the energy equation has been solved and energy isn't an issue. I mean, so essentially food's not an issue. Everybody can have what they need, and you can even have what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But, and even in interviews that Forrest Kelly did, Dr. McCoy, he said, well, I don't think we were doing sci-fi so much. It was pretty bad sci-fi, but what we were doing was social commentary. And so whenever there's a struggle in all of these episodes, whenever there's a struggle, it's about people trying to be people again, like having more than the other guy or dominating the other guy. And so I bring this forward to say, okay, so because we're talking about energy here today, and it's like, I would think that ultimately, if AI is going to do something other than show Donald Trump scoring the winning goal in the hockey game, I mean, I haven't seen anything useful for AI, but let's say there is. Didn't AI start generating solutions to the energy equation where we're not having to? So, okay, talking about nuclear requires a lot of water. Well, even fusion. Not fission, but fusion is going to require a lot of cooling. And ultimately, energy is going to have to be something that is self-generated. Really, green forms are going to be, and regenerative forms, renewable forms are going to be the solution. So when that happens, when AI generates the solution, are the billionaires who own AI going to be okay with a society where, hey, everybody has enough, everybody has what they want, and they aren't the top cast anymore? In other words, would they be satisfied with everybody being happy, or just them?
Oh, I hear you. I wonder that all the
answer,
time. Yeah, that's such a the hard problem, right? Like how much is enough, or at what point do, I get that brief thing where like Australia was, they're creating enough solar energy that they can give out some energy for free. So if it gets to the point where we're creating enough solar and other, wind, and I have read there are some, positive things they're doing with AI in terms of like utilizing it to detect, like pandemic outbreaks, for different things in energy as well. Yeah. At what point where the billionaires say, okay, I guess, we have to give up trying to make money? Because
you look at you guys have heard the thing is that, okay, if you put a million and a billion and a trillion in context of time, say, so like a million seconds is, I don't know, something like 11 days, and a billion seconds is like 31 years, and a trillion seconds is 31,000 years. So remember, at a second, there's 3,600 seconds in an hour. So if you had $1 million, you could spend $3,600 an hour for 11 days. But if you're a trillionaire like Elon Musk wants to be, and is almost there, You could spend $3,600 an hour for 31,000 years. Is that enough, Elon? Is that enough?
Right.
And what are you doing with this to help anybody? And so these people don't. They want to use, obviously, if they found the AI solution, let's call it the ultimate solution, they don't want to share it with us because it means because they're already at the point of saying, I have more than I could possibly use, and they want to keep going with it. So it's like I don't know when they realize that that want is not something that does. I guess want is what they think that serves them, and it's a sickness. And by the way, we're seeing with the Epstein files that the morbidly rich, they're the problem in the world. Worldwide, they're all over in Epstein. They all have this depraved deviance that they have to exercise, and they're protected by their wealth. They can outrun justice. They will never have to face it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole problem. And that's what, I was teaching a seminar a couple of weeks ago, and I was going over a Supreme Court case from about 200 years ago about, and part of what the court ruled is that the reason states can't tax the federal government is because, and this is what it says in the case, is that the power to tax is the power to eliminate. And as I was saying this in the class, I said, well, then why the hell don't we start taxing the billionaires to eliminate them? Because that's the signal to ground. I mean, that is the electricity in the circuit is shorting to ground by the accumulation of a massive amounts of wealth is taking money out of the economy in which we could all use, because the faster it circulates between us, from my hand to yours to Paul's to somebody else's, that's how the economy really hums. But if it's shorting to ground and it's going into the pockets of a few, all that money, which is now really our national debt, as Tom Hartman has pointed out many times, the tax cuts to the billionaires is our national debt. That's where it's shorted to ground, and it's in their pocket.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Paul. I wish I had an answer for you. I mean, the only thing I could think is that maybe, when they die, their kids will have a better moralistic, sense.
Yeah. But I also think, like, if there's less resources for billionaires to compete over, there'd be less billionaires, but like they'd just be fighting each other for money.
Right.
Like, I just feel like it's just going to lead to more war as like people are trying to clamor for the last few dollars.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting juxtaposition to the other people in the world that are trying to do so many good things. I feel like, because I think we get caught up in how bad these billionaires are, especially the tech bros, because they don't seem to want to leave any kind of lasting legacy in terms of, you go back to the old school rich, and maybe they were still as corrupt and evil, but they would want to build libraries with their names on it and schools and donate money to, forests and have some kind of legacy, where these new guys don't seem to want to do it. But
or they just want to buy something that already exists or put their name on something that already exists, like the Museum of Science and Industry.
Yeah. But on the flip side, I mean, I think that there's a lot. I think we get caught up in these one or two names of these billionaires that are just doing, outlandish, crazy things. And like, we don't see the other people who are doing really miraculous things that are benefiting us.
True. Well, but you gotta look at it this way too. Of all the philosophical and theoretical ideas you've explored in this program over the years, I don't see how ever sort of selfishness and accumulation of wealth has ever been a major tenet of any of those.
No. Yeah. And I think that's why you look more towards the kind of the unknown scientists and the innovators, these kind of, like the kid I talked about in his college student in San Francisco who created solar backpacks for unhoused people. I think these are the ones we need to try to like focus on, because
for sure,
you know what I mean? Trying to think about like what, Elon Musk is going to do once he's a trillionaire. It's, you know what I mean? Yeah. But thanks for the call, Paul. I appreciate it.
Okay. Take care, guys.
All right. And, just a couple, and I wish I had an answer to that, because, my only thing is that, like, maybe at some point, we get to, like, he brought up Star Trek, and one of the other things in Star Trek was there was no money on Earth by the time that the Federation was formed and everything, because it was not needed. So whenever they went to these other planets and people had money and gold was something important, we don't have that. We don't have any kind of credit system. We don't need it because they had enough, once you solve that energy crisis, once you have enough energy, you can have enough of everything else in terms of food supply, medicine, whatever else. And you get rid of that monetary system. I don't know, we're probably a long way off from that, but there are some other positive things happening. I thought this was, you talk about a good and bad thing, right? So you have like the PFAs, the PFAS, the polyfluoroalkyl substances, the forever chemicals that we're worried about. Well, there's a new study from Jennifer Schlesinger from the Boston University School of Public Health. She's a professor of environmental health. She found that oat beta-glucan supplements had a statistically significant effect on PFA's level. The forever chemicals have been associated with the reduced ability to, immune response to vaccine, high cholesterol, liver toxicity, hypertensive disorders of pregnancy, and low birth weights in infants. So, just taking this simple fiber supplement actually could help remove these forever chemicals from our body. Not only that, but there's been studies showing that tamarind, right, which is if you like, have you ever had tamarindo, the Mexican drink? There's
not.
also, it's used a lot in Indian food. That actually has been shown in studies to remove microplastics from the body. There's something within tamarind that microplastics binds to, and it removes it out of your body.
Well, I tell you, when I eat Indian food, I sweat a lot. So I'm sure a lot of things are coming out of me when.
Exactly. See? All right, let's take another quick phone call. We got from the 773 number. Someone from 773 area code. Who is this?
This is Paul.
Hey, what's going on, Paul?
The spiritual futurist.
Yes. Hey, what's up, Paul?
How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, I know. I like to recommend books.
Oh yeah.
And if you're looking for an author who is cautiously optimistic, I think you should check out Jeremy Rifkin. Do you know about him?
Yeah. I haven't read any of his stuff, but I know the name.
Check out the Third Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
Which is on one of the books Al Gore recommended in his book on the future. And also the Green New Deal, the Age of Resilience, and the latest one is called Planet Aqua.
Okay.
I was wondering if maybe you could get him on the show. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Interview him on the phone.
Yeah. I'll try to.
His books are too complex to summarize briefly.
Okay.
But I think he's kind of filling out the view of or the vision of Buckminster Fuller. Only he's filling out all the details of his vision. If you see what I mean.
Oh yeah, totally.
And also check out Hazel Henderson and also Barbara Marx Hubbard. Buckminster Fuller said that she was the most informed person on Earth concerning the concept of futurism.
Okay.
So maybe you can talk about them in future shows.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. I always appreciate your book recommendations, Paul.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, it'd be Jeremy Rifkin. We'll have to mark that down. Try to find his email.
Write that down for the post-production show.
And before we take another phone call, I just want to read a couple other little positive notes. California is no longer in a drought.
California is no longer dry.
All their reservoirs are significantly over capacity. What else we got here? This was interesting. There was a local library that created a program where you can check out a person for a 30-minute conversation to hear their life story. I thought that was interesting. It's like a human audiobook.
Wait, no. Okay, so it's a human audiobook. It's not like there's not like a person in a glass case with like that that card that you had to keep in there or whatever, and then they like stamp it. Yeah.
No, it's actually a person. You like go and talk to some
bring
person.
them home and they tell the story. It's like,
right.
What now?
I'm gonna rent this person for a day.
You can take me back to the library. It's like, nah, I never take it back right away. And also back to California Privacy Drop Act just went active, which was
Data brokers, companies that sell your personal data, like name, address, phone number, email, have to delete info on people that submit a request not to directly to them, but to the Cal privacy site. So that's good. You know, that's a step forward in securing privacy and information.
I mean, can you verify that it works?
Yeah, that one, I don't know, you know.
You're just going to skip over Costco not raising the price of their hot dog?
Well, I don't eat hot dogs.
I know you
so,
don't.
like,
And it's just kind of like...
but for the hot dogs, yeah.
I guess that's just one of those things that Costco like always set out to like try to keep their prices.
Well, for those that do,
Yeah,
they're still
yeah.
$1.50 at Costco. And
Yeah,
Costco is a good company. I mean, they're very progressive. They believe in workers'
Sure.
rights.
But,
Yeah.
like, what's being sacrificed?
Right.
If it's not the cost, what's being sacrificed in your hot dog?
Delaware forgave $19 million in medical debt for over 18,000 residents in December. They also passed a law in October that excludes medical debt from credit reporting. Thought that was pretty interesting.
That's progressive. Yeah, that'd be nice if more states did that.
Mm-hmm. Let's take another phone call real quick before we go to break. We got Dave in Hoffman Estates. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, Damien. Hey, Paul. Long time.
Yeah, how you been?
Well, I picked you guys up when you were talking about geothermal. And, the two quick stories on that. I used to have a guy I worked with. He had bought a place in Lower Michigan that had that, and he said, "Oh, I'd never sell this house."
Oh, yeah?
With that geothermal. And,
Yeah. So he just his house had its own geothermal heating system?
Yeah, the house. Yeah, when he bought it, the person, whoever maybe had it built, they had the geothermal, and he said he loves it.
Oh, wow.
And my dad used to work underground iron ore mine.
Yeah.
And he said it was a constant. I want to say about, was it 50 degrees, 48 degrees? And he said in the summer it was kind of like a natural air conditioning, and in the wintertime, you know, you could work with a flannel shirt on or something, you know, real mild. And that is just weird. But,
that's pretty cool.
And hey, you guys know that tonight that there was supposed to have been a 6-planet alignment?
Yeah, I did see
like
that.
Right about now, right? It's like sunset or something like that, looking out to the west.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's kind of cloudy today anyway. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was today. And then Tuesday is supposed to be a lunar eclipse, a blood moon.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
According to what I read about it, they said the next one ain't going to be around till about 2028.
Ah, okay. Got to look out for that. Hopefully we'll have clear skies to see the blood moon.
Which I believe, blood moon would be a full moon as well, right?
Correct.
So, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd pass those tidbits to you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Dave.
you.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, likewise. I just said, I was kept forgetting to pick up on you guys, and, you know, usually had enough of the radio listening for the week.
I hear you.
But,
well, feel free to call anytime, Dave.
Cool. Paul, I'm going to send you something by email.
Oh, please, I'll be on the lookout for that.
And then you and Damien go over this. It's something else.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, talk to you guys
Yeah.
again in the future.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
I'll try not to make it so long.
Oh, that's okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Have a
be
great
well,
day.
guys.
You too.
And we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, I still have more positive news stories to end the show with on Think Theory Radio right after this.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. Donald Trump has implemented a barbaric anti-immigration policy with mass deportations and having ICE agents showing up unannounced at people's homes, workplaces, and anywhere they suspect, separating families, ruining lives, and deporting people without any due process. But one company is taking a stand against Donald Trump. Greyhound Bus Lines has implemented a no warrant, no boarding policy. This prohibits ICE agents to enter the vehicle without a warrant. Greyhound Bus says they want to guarantee the rights and civil liberties of their passengers. Greyhound Bus is the largest inner-city bus system in the U.S., with over 1,600 destinations. Maybe this will lead to more companies stepping up like Greyhound is. This has been WCPT telling you how you can shop blue.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Welcome back to Think Theory Radio. Today we are providing a little hope for humanity
For all that bad news that we're just swimming in every day.
Mm-hmm. And then, it's easy to get swept up in it. I'm not above it. I fall victim to the fray.
Oh, it's easy to want to run away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
exactly.
To be numb to it, to disappear from it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying to do that. Like I said in the beginning of the show, still keep resisting, keep fighting, vote out those you want to vote out.
But I think sometimes you get into like a depressive, a depression, like a spiral when you hear all this stuff, and you think less of humanity, and you think negatively about the future of the world. So
and it's just not good for your mind.
No.
You have to balance it out. You have to look at the bright side of things sometimes. Because there are good things happening, and like one is, we like a big thing when I was growing up was, the ozone. There was a hole in the ozone.
Yeah, but then they solved that problem, though.
And it continues to heal.
Yeah. Which they didn't know that at that time.
No. They actually, scientists announced in December that the gap in Earth's protective radiation shield has been its smallest in 6 years. And this continues the long-term trend where an annual variable hole is closing up. And that's pretty much the result of the Montreal Protocol when they got rid of the fluorocarbons.
Now, with the 80s being popular with the kids these days, will we see a comeback of like Aquanet and other types of hairsprays that kind of
really hope not? Oh man, you could make a blowtorch with those things.
I know, yeah. I can smell.
Yeah, I know. When you said it, I instantly could smell. I could see the bottle and I could smell it. Well, I think we have better products now. And that is another thing, too. I mean, just in a weird positive note that I feel like the toxicity of a lot of, body products that people use more natural things. Mm-hmm. A lot of women are go more towards looking natural than trying to create a kind of faker image of themselves, except what you see on social media. You have AI companies are ditching some of their most ill-advised ideas, like the character AI chatbot for teens. Bye-bye. The weird AI-generated profiles of Meta.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
And, they desperately wanted me to, talk to them.
I know.
Yeah.
So weird. So luckily that, that didn't catch, and those are chucking those. There's a lot of countries and states that are creating better laws to protect kids from social media and outlawing them, banning them from schools, no smartphones. I think Australia did that. Other states are creating, different laws in that regard.
Yeah.
There's it's right here. There's let me see.
I guess I'm just thinking protecting them from just all of the negativity or just the addictiveness or just the fakeness.
Yeah, and it's so much, psychologically damaging too.
Misinformation.
The kind of detachment from real people and not interacting in a social level. Roblox, which is a huge thing with kids, actually got hit with a wave of lawsuits because, it was attracted, all the kids in the U.S., half of the kids in the U.S. were using it. They became the first to use facial recognition age checks to aim to prevent users under 13 from chatting outside game-based experiences. So there's that. We figured out how to regenerate heart cells.
Wow.
Right? So heart disease is still the planet's biggest killer, but there's plenty of promising research that could bring heart attack numbers down. They figured out how to do something the body can't: regenerate damaged muscle tissue in the heart. In November, Mayo Clinic researchers revealed they'd done that in the lab for the first time using reprogrammed stem cells. And then a little bit earlier, we were talking about the cancer gone down. Now some experts are calling the golden age of cancer treatment, and there's becoming more personalized and less invasive. Top of the promising list, there's an mRNA cancer vaccine developed at the University of Florida. Even despite what RFK Jr. is trying to defund it, they still have created and revs up the immune system ability to attack cancer cells. There's gene therapy treatment for aggressive leukemia has shown astonishing success. They figured out how to destroy some tumors using nothing but sound waves. It's frequencies, man. Try to tell ya. Blood tests for Alzheimer's disease now.
They didn't have that before?
I guess not.
Huh.
I'm not familiar too much with how Alzheimer treatments and everything. But
I know that like blood tests have come a long way though.
Yeah.
For like.
Yeah, well, I mean, ever since like the Human Genome Project and CRISPR, which is the gene editing tool, we're getting a lot more advances in detecting things earlier on through blood tests and also just, new treatments. But they have this, I guess, powerful new diagnostic tools that can detect Alzheimer's in elderly brains via a simple blood test. That means they can start treatment earlier. You have surgeons can operate remotely around the world.
Like through robot or something, or
I believe so. It's a surgeon.
Or like a proxy. Is there like some dude that gets trained like maybe a hibachi grill type of guy. He's good with knives, right? And he puts on like a virtual reality set and then gets told what to.
Yeah, right. No, it's actually, you were right the first time. It's the operation. There was an operation.
But it's like the doctor from remotely is working on like some sort of like
they call it
game console far away.
Transcontinental robotic telesurgery.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to sign up for that depending on the surgery.
Well, Dr. Vip Patel removed a patient's prostate.
Yeah, that's one of those that I'd file under. I'd want a guy there for it.
Well, but here's where it benefits. Okay, so Patel was in Florida. His patient was 7,000 miles away in Angola.
Yeah.
So if you have someone in a country like in a third world country that can't afford to get somewhere,
they can't exactly be picky. Yeah.
And it was successful.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, I don't think they'd be writing about it if it was. How many times did it not work? I don't know.
I know, right? Yeah. We're keeping it positive, Paul. Come on.
Sorry.
CRISPR.
I'm the wrong sidekick for this. You got to do this when I'm taking a day off.
It's all right. Keep us grounded.
So Matt and Henry are way more positive than me.
CRISPR, we just talked about, saved a child's life for the first time.
What's CRISPR?
It's the gene editing.
Drawer in your refrigerator? No. Okay.
It's not an air fryer, Paul.
Okay.
It's I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's a gene editing tool.
But it's like the word CRISPR without the E.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, a 6-month-old with a rare genetic disorder, received the first dose of his bespoke treatment and is now thriving. Welcome because of CRISPR. Eye implants.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Landmark study published this year. 38 people with age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of blindness in over 50s, has a chip inserted into their eyes. Combined with special glasses, the technology lets a majority of them see again, creating hope for an estimated 5 million people around the world.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Let's see what else. Oh, we got a couple minutes. Got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We got, this is kind of going back to the AI stuff, right? Because there was this, 2025, there was all this AI slop, and, like Paul brought up the, Trump playing hockey or whatever, and that's like all you see, like, is that all AI does? Well, there's actually some creators have gotten universal basic income for life because of what's been happening with AI. And one of my favorite countries, Ireland, has announced that it would turn its basic income artist pilot scheme into a permanent program starting this year. The BIA pays 2,000 artists around $1,500 a month.
See, and I'm really curious about this, but now we're down to like the last minute of the show.
So it's basically, this was to protect artists from, companies utilizing AI in this way. Artists can just create and get paid, a little stipend per month. That's pretty interesting. So, let's see, can we fit in one more?
One more.
Where can we do? Where can we go?
Well, what can you recall that you really wanted to talk about?
Oh, there were so many. I don't know. I got sidetracked. But here's a couple energy ones. Back to energy. We'll do a loop. Costa Rica is running almost entirely on renewable energy.
Electricity runs in a loop anyway. So
See,
it's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. 95% of Costa Rica's electricity came from renewable sources. Scotland generated over 100% of its electricity demand from wind on some of the days last year, literally more wind than they could use.
It's pretty windy in Scotland.
Yeah. And let's see what else real quick. I thought this was interesting. Burkina Faso saved a huge amount of its country by planting trees in areas where the land was drying out, saving a lot of people from hunger and misery. So there we go. And that about wraps it up. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for calling in. And we'll be back again next week. And every Saturday, 6 to 7 p.m. right here on WCPT 820 Think Theory Radio.
Mind Over Matters.
Dr. Amy Harris Nuan, as you know, this show is about challenging you to think differently, to make different choices in your life, to take action, to create positive outcomes in your life. So I want to challenge you to look at your life holistically. To where am I satisfied? What areas need attention? And then go to work, take in action what you need to do.
Mind Over Matters with Dr. Amy Harris Nuan. Sundays at 10 a.m. on WCPT 820.
This is WCPT 820, where you can hear The Stephanie Miller Show every weekday, 8 to 11 a.m., because facts matter.
NBC News Radio, I'm Rob Martier. President Trump says Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed during airstrikes and called on the Iranian people to take over the country. Iran is condemning the recent strikes by the United States